Tonight on DC News Now, icy roads in DC.
Our road, which is a block away from Pennsylvania, hasn't been touched by salt, by plows, anything like that.
The frustration from families grow as crews work to make roads drivable again.
Hey everyone, I know you're digging out and you're gonna have multiple days under sunny skies but bitterly cold. Forecast coming up.
Public viewings begin ahead of President Jimmy Carter's funeral.
That was an honor for me to be able to represent him and give him those premier ceremonial honors that he deserves.
A behind-the-scenes look at the work that went into the procession to the Capitol today.
The results are in for the special elections in Northern Virginia. Who holds the majority as the General Assembly gathers for its first session tomorrow in Richmond?
The bitter cold may have you blasting the heat inside your home. We are stretching your dollar with ways to save on your bill right now.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News. And now at 9, I'm Susan Tran.
Hey, everybody, I'm Chris Flanagan. Icy roads and snow-covered sidewalks. We are still feeling the impact of the snowstorm all across the DMV. This as temperatures plummet below freezing. Here's what road conditions look like right now. On the left side of your screen, a live look. This is Leesburg Pike, just north of Tysons in Virginia. And on the right, the Capitol Hill neighborhood in D.C. Our Daniel Hamburg tells us much more about that coming up in just a moment.
All right, let's get a check on the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb. So the roads don't look too bad, but there are some slick conditions because of this really bitter temperature we have.
Yeah, the crews did a phenomenal job. We still have some areas in Prince George's County I know they're getting to. If your street has not been plowed, they're coming. They're working diligently. Folks, some of these side streets, we've talked about sidewalks. They're just not taken care of just yet, but just give it, another 24 hours. Things will start to get better. But now you still have another night that you have temperatures that are below average. It's also pretty windy. Any snow that was kind of that loose powder today has allowed it to be drifting snow in most areas. 30 degrees, we're under clear skies, and some official totals now coming in out towards DCA. Third snowiest day on record out at Reagan yesterday. Pretty impressive. That storm system materialized, and we beat daily records for BW&I and areas like Dulles, 5 to 6 inches. Wind flow at this time, 15 to 20 miles per hour. That's not going to be changing too much. We're still dealing with an exiting storm system, and that's why it's quite blustery out there. But when you have winds like this, you feel like temperatures single digits and the teens. We have some more sunny days in store across the region, but I am tracking another storm system providing us with more snow. I have that forecast. It's coming up.
New video tonight from DC's Department of Transportation. Take a look. They've been working so diligently to clear the bike lanes all across the district with these small bobcats here. And that includes the stretch along Metropolitan Branch Trail in Northeast.
Yeah, but conditions on the roads in D.C. still has a lot of people frustrated tonight. A live look towards Capitol Hill from our shaky rooftop camera here. Blustery out there. Our Daniel Hamburg joining us live from the Capitol Hill neighborhood tonight in Northeast.
All right, Danielle, how are all of those streets and sidewalks looking out where you are?
Well, we have seen some plow trucks coming through these neighborhoods. We are at the corner of 11th and D Street. This is 11th Street where that car is going down right now. Pretty clear. You can see the black pavement, but if we pan over this way to D Street, you can see still some of the slush and the snow on the ground here. The concern, of course, is for refreezing. Driving through southeast D.C., a lot of main roads are clear after days of snowfall, but many neighborhoods are still covered.
It's like a ski village, they don't actually do much to take away the snow on the roads. They just kind of leave you to fend for yourself.
Austin Fiala is clearing off his car before work on Wednesday, not happy to see D Street isn't clear.
Pennsylvania is great because Pennsylvania is the escape route and so on, but yeah, our road, which is a block away from Pennsylvania, hasn't been touched by salt, by plows, anything like that. All you see is just from people driving over it.
It could be better. They did a good job getting salt down, but then after the initial snow, there wasn't really any pushing until, actually I haven't seen anybody on D Street. I think I saw one plow come through earlier.
While some think there's room for improvement, Others are satisfied with the district's response.
Our road is fine. Our road is good. We're out and about. The pavement, the sidewalk is good. So, yeah, we're happy.
The concern is dropping temperatures and snow and slush freezing into ice.
I'm glad I'm doing this then before it starts getting more frozen. But yeah, I mean, look at my road, all this that I'm making and putting on the ground. When that freezes, it's gonna really be a problem for trying to get out of here in the morning.
So shortly after we talked to Austin, again, we did see a plow truck coming through. We even saw a pickup truck coming through salting the roads, but it is still not perfect, still not great, again, for those concerns with freezing. But of course, you can keep up to date with the plows and what streets have been plowed. There is a map here online for the DC Snow Team with live updates. You can see exactly where the plows are here. These green lines showing recently plowed roads. So we're live in Southeast. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Still a lot of work to be done there, Daniel. Thank you. Over in Maryland, the Park Police in Montgomery County posting this photo right here of a car that drove right into the side of this police cruiser and reminding people to drive for road conditions and not for speed limit. Park Police say that the driver was not able to stop on these really slick conditions and hit that cruiser. No one was hurt.
All right, be sure to head to our website as schools announce closures for tomorrow. DC Public Schools will open on time tomorrow, so there is school in D.C., but Montgomery County and Prince George's County Public Schools in Maryland, they are closed, and so will Loudoun County and Fairfax County Public Schools in Virginia.
Just into our newsroom from Virginia as well. Fairfax County says there is a water main break. This is on Fort Hunt Road and Croton Drive. The roads are going to be closed so that crews can, of course, fix that area there, and you can expect some delays, they say, in the morning.
Well, tonight, public viewings for former President Jimmy Carter happening right now at the U.S. Capitol. This is a live look at the building and from inside of the Capitol Dome tonight from up above. The former president died at 100 years old at the end of last month. And there have been long lines to enter the Capitol since it opened around 6 this evening. Again, a live look right now. This is at the Capitol, to get in through the Capitol Visitor Center. Public is allowed to enter the rotunda until midnight tonight to pay respects to the former president.
The public viewing there at the Capitol Rotunda, it continues tomorrow morning at 7. And the area, that's going to stay open from 7 tomorrow morning into Thursday morning at 7. If you are going, though, please keep in mind that you cannot bring flowers, sealed envelopes, or any other offerings into the Capitol building. And you will need to turn off your cell phone as photos and videos. They are not allowed inside the Rotunda. President Carter's funeral at the National Cathedral, it is Thursday morning. President Biden will deliver the eulogy, and then President Carter will be flown back to Georgia, where he will be buried next to his wife, Rosalind. The procession from Joint Base Andrews over to the Capitol was well planned and highly coordinated as a full effort here. It involved members from every branch of the military.
Yeah, DC News Now's Max Marcilla spoke with an Air Force Honor Guard, and he shares what this day meant to him.
We're here at Joint Base Anacostia Bowling here in Southwest Washington, where we're getting a unique look at how the U.S. Air Force Honor Guard has been preparing and is now perfecting President Jimmy Carter's farewell. In a room full of U.S. Air Force Honor Guard memorabilia, including pieces commemorating historic funerals of First Ladies Barbara Bush and Nancy Reagan, an interview with Airman First Class James Barnard, who just hours earlier was a part of history.
I was able to participate in President Carter's state funeral.
Barnard was one of many who marched as part of the procession leading 39th President Jimmy Carter through D.C. streets to the Capitol Rotunda. It was his first state funeral. What is the toughest part?
Sometimes it can just be a little bit sad that you know that somebody has passed away.
So just keeping your emotions in check.
Yeah, you just take pride though in that you're doing the right thing and that you're honoring the person properly.
The well-orchestrated procession, the result of intense training. The Air Force Honor Guard had rehearsals last week and those able to be executed because of everyone's 2-month-long technical training courses. It includes learning rifle movements and training to stand motionless for hours, sometimes like today in the intense cold.
You'll do what we call stamina stands, where you could be standing for 30, 45, or an hour.
No movement.
Yeah, no movement. You have to stay motionless the entire time.
All of that training to make sure the ceremony is profound, with the focus on the fallen, in this case a man Barnard admires for his service to his country in politics and military.
We hope that we honored him properly and that we did a good job and that he got the closure that he deserves because he served for many years, not only in the Navy, but also as a former commander-in-chief.
In Southwest, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
What a privilege and an honor. And by the way, all federal workers will have the day off on Thursday in remembrance of Carter. That means most federal offices will be closed, and that includes the United States Postal Service. Most mail service will be suspended until Friday, but there will be limited package deliveries that day. All USPS facilities will be closed to the public, so you won't be able to drop off mail or send anything out.
Some really terrifying moments at a busy Maryland shopping center. Police say a man armed with a machete was going after people in the parking lot. This was on Sunday when Montgomery County Police say they were called to a Gaithersburg shopping center where 3 people told investigators the man threatened them with a machete for no apparent reason. And when officers arrived, they say they found Nicole Gomez hitting several parked cars with that large knife. They were able to arrest the 24-year-old, and police say no one was hurt. Gomez now faces several charges and is being held without bond. New tonight out of Maryland, police are investigating a deadly 2-car crash in Prince George's County. It happened near Christchurch Road. Now, both drivers, they were taken to the hospital, but one person later died. It's unclear how the crash happened, and this investigation is ongoing.
And in Virginia, state police still searching for a man who took off from a crash through a storm drain. It happened on the Beltway in Fairfax County. Troopers say as they were directing the cars involved off to the shoulder, Victor Caniza drove off. This happened yesterday. During a chase, Caniza got out into another crash. Troopers say that's when he got out of his car, ran into the woods, and then into a small drain on the side of the highway. Witnesses says they saw him crawl out of a manhole about 3 blocks away. If you have any information, if you have seen Caniza, you're asked to call Virginia State Police. Well, DC News Now is your local election headquarters, and Virginia Democrats have kept their state house majority in special elections. Voters backed 2 Democrats to fill a vacancy in the Senate and an open seat in the House of Delegates. Democrats had a narrow majority, making today's special elections key to the party's efforts to preserve a majority in both chambers.